Hello and welcome back everybody. This is Derek or Lycan 101 and this role-playing video is going to be a DM's tip that has been asked of me by one of my subscribers named Aaron Q64. Aaron, I know this video has been a long time coming. I apologize for the long wait, but hopefully it can still give you some help or aid in whatever way you needed. And his question was about solo campaigning, and whether I'd had any experience with it or any advice that I could give him. So let's get right into it, Aaron. What exactly does it mean to have a solo campaign? Solo campaign, for those of you who don't know, is where it's a game between the GM and one player. It's an adventure that only that one person can claim, that one player's story. So how do you go about really making this solo adventure for them? Well, first things first, focus really hard on the story. The story should come to the forefront. Whether you're really not used to doing story or you don't typically do a lot of story in your campaigns normally, this is your chance to really strive forward and put your best storytelling hat on and really put forth your best effort into making story the forefront. Now, why is this necessary for solo campaigning? Well, because it's just you and that one player. You can throw combat at them as much as you want. However, combat is going to grow difficult with only one player. Sure, they might be a fighter, but even the best fighter can't face two dragons at the same time. So combat is going to become, at least at times, a difficult situation. And yes, they can form up with a group of NPCs and then fight those two dragons. However, guess what? That group of one player and now 5 NPCs now has to be run by you, or if they're really skilled at it, the player, and becomes more of a game of, how should I put it? More of a game of there's imaginary other players here that are playing, and less of that solo campaign. It's more like we want to play real D&D, but we don't have enough people. The design behind the solo campaign is to really be that one character's story. And that's what you really want to focus on, is that one character. You don't really want a whole bunch of other NPCs that have to come out and take the spotlight. It's about that one character. So this is your chance to make things really personal, really drive home any kind of backstory, any kind of flaw, or really anything that the player has put into their character and given to you. Any backstory, any kind of conflict, anything that's developed in a previous campaign that you want to use that's happened personally to that single character. By making this such a personal storyline or personal campaign, it brings the focus all in on this one person. It's all about this one person. It's all about their actions, what they did, what they're going to do, what their decisions were. And in a sense, it becomes almost like playing a RPG in a video game sense, where think of Dragon Age, where it focuses on the one person and the followers that they come up behind them with. But it's all about that one individual story, or Mass Effect, or basically any BioWare game, really, that I can think of off the top of my head, or Elder Scrolls, or anything like that. It's that one really personal narrative. Another thing that having a solo campaign really provides is it's your chance as a DM to pull out the big guns. What do I mean by that? By pulling out the big guns, it's your chance to use elements of whatever system you happen to be using that you've been a little hesitant to use in other times in big games that might run a huge chance of blowing up in your face if you're not prepared for them. Examples can include vehicle combat, or arena combat, underwater combat, sundering, any kind of rule system or anything like that that can really hinder you, or you feel could hinder you, or backfire on you as a DM in a game. And the reason for this is a solo campaign also serves not only as that personal narrative to the one player, but also serves as your training ground as a DM. It's your testing field. It's your chance to say, okay, I've only got one person here. and I've really wanted to try out this one enemy, or I've really wanted to try out this one rule set. I really don't think I've got a good enough handle on it yet to put it to the full group. Let's put it in the solo, see what happens. And if it blows up in your face, there's only one person there to say, hey, I'm not really liking this, or hey, this isn't really working. And then it's your chance to fix it before you send it out to the main stage of the rest of the party, or another group altogether. So it's really your testing ground to say, hey, I like these rules, and I'm liking where this story's going for this one person. Let's see if I can make it even better with this idea that I've been toying with in the background with these rule systems. Again, the next thing I really want to talk about is the epic nature of a solo campaign. This is a single person, a single character's opportunity to claim an entire adventure as their own. This is not something that 4 or 5 other people in a group can say, oh hey, yeah, we did that. It's the character's opportunity to say, no, I did that. All by myself, just me, nobody else. It's a story that they can take back to the group and say, hey, you don't know this, but I did this in this epic battle, or talked to so-and-so before. And then it provides a greater backstory or a greater emotional depth or involvement in a player for a character. Additionally, what a solo campaign can do is provide a perfect entry point for each character into a larger campaign. So let's say, for example, you have a campaign that you really want to start, and you know it's going to involve political intrigue, or it's going to involve a lot of involvement with other NPCs in certain areas. One, let's say, what interaction would involve the lower end of the scum of the street down at the wharf district of a port city. Another encounter that you know will happen in the campaign will take place with the city guard or some other militant official. Then you know at the very end there's going to have to be some kind of social encounter with some kind of clerical person. And then, of course, it doesn't have to just be RP chances. It could be a battle against some kind of crazy enemy. We'll say, for instance, a Wendigo from Bestiary 2 and Pathfinder. In the solo campaign, you can have that one player meet up with individuals that will appear in another campaign. That one character could say, do a favor for those scum on the wharf district, or could enter into the city guard and therefore be a captain, or wind up as a captain or a sergeant for a captain of the city guard, or could be a cleric in the order in which the people will need to talk to in another campaign, or they fought a Wendigo. The options are limitless, and the way you transition from the solo campaign into the group dynamic is getting over to the group dynamic after they've done whatever is needed in the solo campaign. If that character continues on back into the main group, then you provide them with the opportunity of going to that town again, and they have a better layout, they have a history here, they remember all their past adventure, they remember that solo campaign here and all the actions that they did. So let's just run with the wharf, the helping the scum on the wharf. So let's say the group of players comes into town. They're being chased by the city guard for whatever reason. They need a place to hide. The player from the solo says, aha, I know this city. I helped some merchants, or some scum who were masquerading as merchants, down at the wharf district, and I wonder if they could help me out. And so the player uses this prior knowledge from the solo, talks to the DM about it, and says, hey, can I go down to the wharf district and bring these guys and maybe offer up a little coin to those guys that I talked to last time? The rest of the party's going to look around in confusion going, what other guys? What the heck is this guy talking about? We don't know anything here. And then they go down to the wharf district. The guys are still there running their CD operation, and they hide the entire party for a fee from the city watch. Now that means it's only a way of hiding to the rest of the party, but to that one player, it's those guys that he or she helped out that one time in that solo adventure. It really provides a sense that each character has a story that has been happening and will continue to happen after the group is disbanded and after that campaign ends. Solo adventures are really, in my opinion, a way for a personal, almost a book-like quality to a role-playing game to come alive. I personally have run 2 solo campaigns, one much better than the other, I think, and I'll talk about the one that went much better. It centered around a female cleric who found herself in love with an angel, a solar angel, and the solar angel had sacrificed himself to save her life in an epic battle, and she went on a quest to find his soul and bring him back if at all possible. However, his soul, as it turns out, was not returned to heaven or any kind of other realm. It was trapped in hell by the demons. And there his soul, the angel's soul, was forever being tortured and tormented until it could be broken down and the secrets of heaven taken from it. And so she goes on an epic quest to save his soul and reunite him with his body and bring back her angelic love. So yes, you can see it's quite epic scale, epic adventure, very personal, and is something that only that character can claim. I did try out a few crazy things. I tried vehicle combat. I tried planar travel for the first time, which was another interesting endeavor. And so you can see that every point that I've talked about thus far is something that you can try out in solo campaigning. So Aaron, I hope this has been really insightful for you. I hope it's not too late for you to use some of these ideas in the solo campaign. And for anybody else out there, has any questions, comments, wants to add a video response, or any kind of response to this video, please feel free. I look forward to hearing everybody's responses. Again, Aaron, I said, I hope this really helps you out. If anybody else has any ideas, put them in the comments. I'd be happy to hear what you have to say. Thanks for watching, folks. This has been Derek, or Lycan 101. Thanks for watching.